Hello friends, and welcome to another video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I always talk about different stories from the rich Star Trek universe. This video is going to be about episode 8 of Star Trek Lower Decks. It was called Veritas, and these are my honest opinions about it. I'm going to say something what I have never said before about any episode of Lower Decks. What I'm going to say is going to shock some of you, but I still have to say it. I'm sorry, but I just have to. Well, This episode is hilarious. This is the first time in this series where I have not forcing myself to at least smile. I was having a great time from the first minute till the last. I do not know how much can I say about this episode, because speaking too much about this plot will ruin the jokes, but I will at least very briefly mention it. The episodes have previously had a very different structure. It had 2 or sometimes 3 subplots which joined in the end. This episode, however, has just one main plot, and in flashbacks we get to know about the same events from different points of view. It works as a comedy, it works as a Star Trek story. Is it perfect? No, but it's the best episode we had so far. When I'm writing this, I still haven't seen episode 9, so maybe that one will be better, or we will see. Our 4 heroes are on an alien planet, being tossed to something that looks like a brig. Actually, it looks like the Klingon courtroom from Star Trek 6. They even get sent up to what looks like an exact replica of the Klingon courtroom from Star Trek 6. But no, it's not a Klingon planet. They are being interrogated by a race we have never seen before. The prosecutor demands Mariner to tell him what happened at a specific stardate, and this is when the flashbacks start. In her version of the events, we see them not noticing Red Alert because Rutherford was messing with the speakers. Mariner and Boimler have bridge duty today, so they sneak up to witness the captain being quickly beamed back with a map of the neutral zone. And no, I am not going to complain about the existence of this map. I enjoyed this episode way too much for this type of nitpicking. She got it from a bug alien, and when she asks Mariner to send them a message, she shoots at them, which is the wrong message. The prosecutor guy has a huge problem believing her story, so he sends her to join his electric eels, but when Boimler claims that they are not being properly informed about things and often get things wrong, Mariner doesn't get thrown to the eels. Yet. We then see Cyborg's point of view. The chief engineer and the Bajoran head of security. Yes, I call them like that because we are almost at the end of the series and I still don't know the names of most of the characters. They ask him to update his database, so the running joke in this story is that he always loses consciousness when his implants need to reboot, but the computer parts take control of his body and brain, so when he wakes up he's shocked to find out what has happened while he was knocked out. First, he finds out that he knocked out Vulcans, as the Bajoran called them, Spock and Spock. Then he finds himself stealing an old 23rd century Romulan warbird. After that, he is in space, standing on the cloaked warbird, and then he is on a Gorn wedding. Good to know that the Gorn are Christians, because the wedding ceremony looks pretty Christian to me, but the prosecutor doesn't believe Rutherford either, so he gets also sent to the eels. Tandy is next. She's happy to get to clean the conference room, But when Commander Ransom gets there with a bunch of muscle men and asks her if she is, quote, the cleaner, unquote, she thinks he asks her if she's there to clean the room. So she says yes, but as she soon finds out, this is a misunderstanding. She accidentally became a member of a secret unit. They fly in the stolen Romulan warbird through the neutral zone using the map to Romulus, where they pick up a package and Tandy gets to kick some ass. Literally. You go, Orion girl. But the prosecutor doesn't like her story either, so she joins soon Mariner and Rutherford in their little swimming pool. A little swimming pool filled with electric eels. Only Boimler can save them now, and he just repeats what he said before. They are lower decks, they are usually not told about the big plans, they very often have no clue what is really going on, because nobody has briefed them. They don't show them the quote-unquote bigger picture, but that's not a problem, because even the bridge crew often doesn't know what exactly is going on. For example, when Q shows up, oh yes, we get a nice little cameo from John Delancey, reprising his iconic role as Q, even though I originally thought they found some other actor with a similar voice, because he sounds very old and pretty different from his last appearance on screen. But still, these scenes remind me on the old episodes of Family Guy, back from the times when the show was funny, which means probably first 2 or 3 seasons. The humor is completely random, and I almost feel ashamed to admit I was laughing most of the time. But still, the huge twist in the end is that this is not a court. Our heroes are not witnesses in a process against the bridge officers. This is actually a giant party for them. You see, the prosecutor guy was actually the package. Commander Ransom and his team saved him from the Romulans. Why did the crew of the least important ship of the fleet do a rescue mission? No clue. As I said, this episode is not perfect, but it's still pretty damn funny. I loved this episode. This was the first episode in this so-called comedy, which was, in my humble opinion, hilarious. And the problem is that this was episode 8 out of 10. Let's hope that this writer will get more assignments in the second season, since it looks like the show was already ordered for a second season. Really huge improvements overall. It still reminds me more on Futurama or even Family Guy than on Star Trek, but at least it was funny, and that's the most important thing about a comedy. On my standard scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is complete garbage, 10 is a masterpiece, and 5 is just average, I would give this episode 9 out of 10. I originally wanted to give it a 10 out of 10, but after several repeated viewings I started to notice more and more problems, so I think a 9 is enough. But as always, these were just my opinions. Let me know what did you think about this episode. Did you love it, hate it, or do you agree with me? Let me know down in the comment section, and I am going to quickly watch episode 9. Hopefully it will be at least as good as this one. Thank you very much for watching, and see you very soon, probably in a day or two. Bye.